So we are here to talk to you about prototyping game controllers with Makey Makey. And Makey Makey is the invention kit for the 21st century. I've got my board. I've got my T-shirt. Derek's not representing his T-shirt today, so.
Sorry. I could have done my plaid.
You could have. I actually thought about it, but when it was 100, it was too much. No. If you want to share anything that you see today with our social media, we're at Makey Makey. We can also use the hashtag Makey Makey. And we're just here to be engaged and talk to each other. And so please use the chat to go ahead and introduce yourself and say where you're coming here from, if you've used Makey Makey before or not. And Derek, will you introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Derek Runberg. I've been with Makey Makey for 2 years now, actually a little over 2 years. I'm a director of product and programs. Just a little joke aside, my kids tend to refer to me as the director of PP here at Makey Makey. I oversee essentially the life cycle of Makey Makey and our other products. So from conception to end of life if need be. So that's my job. And Colleen, how about you?
I am Colleen Graves, and I am our director of, I have the C's. So I'm director of community and communication. That was the word I was looking for. Communication, community, and creative content. So everything you see on our webpage, words and photos and guides, and videos generally are made by me unless otherwise specified. So lots of fun. And I don't know what else I was going to say about that, but I'm going to let you introduce Makey Makey, Derek.
Yeah, I'm actually going to...
You want to share a Makey Makey?
Switch my camera here really quickly. So this, you saw the picture and Colleen's got her slides up, but this is Makey Makey. Makey Makey is a tiny little circuit board. And when we flip it over, it's essentially a little computer that tricks your big computer into thinking that it's a keyboard and mouse. And instead of having keys and a mouse that I can move and click with, it has touch points. And it teaches kids about building circuits and being creative with electronics and learning how to build switches, essentially. And that's what we're going to be doing today in terms of your controller. Because when we take a video game controller and we break it apart, that's what they're made of, is switches. So I control Makey Makey by connecting Earth to any of these keys. So I have up, down, left, right. On the front, I have the space bar key and mouse left click. And then we have a bunch of other keys on the back as well, and we'll talk about those later. But that's the main thing of Makey Makey is when I plug this in via USB, my computer goes, oh, it's keyboard and mouse. But it doesn't know what's hooked up to the Makey Makey, so we can create all sorts of controllers and keyboard and mice applications for it. So it's essentially an invention kit for your students.
Yeah, and every key, I think Derek already said that, but I'm just going to do it again. Every key on your keyboard is actually a switch. And so when you plug Makey Makey in, your computer just thinks you plugged in a keyboard. And just to kind of show the type of items you can invent with, I have this quick little stop motion. And so also what Derek was saying that I think is the biggest hurdle for those new to Makey Makey is you have to have 2 touch points. And you can kind of think of this like a light switch, right? A light switch turns on and off. And to turn things on and off and to complete a circuit, you have to have both the negative and the positive. So the bottom row, which is Earth, is your ground, which is also kind of like a negative. And then all of these other inputs are your positive inputs. So to complete a circuit, you just have to touch one. And you would have those positive inputs. So just to kind of visually see it with our stop motion, we have space and Earth. And so space and Earth are two things right now. You can see them on the Makey Makey too, but nothing is bridging that to complete the circuit. So once I touch both space and Earth, I complete a circuit. I can use quarters. I could use my hand and I can actually add more inputs. Let me go back there to that one. I can add space up and down. And as long as I have one hand on earth and I touch my other hands on the other bananas, I'll complete each of those. And I could use foil. And one of my favorite things to use is a drawing. So when I use a drawing like this, what I really like to do with students is show them that they can make the whole circuit complete by drawing across, so that you can see that the drawing is all the way across and the light is on space. And then they can take an eraser and erase the circuit. So I think that's really just a fun way to kind of show Makey Makey. Ooh, I'm always hitting the YouTube video like 3 times. So like Derek said, Makey Makey just allows you to create your own switch out of everyday materials. And Derek, do you have, can you do a tour of materials of things that we could use?
Yeah, I will switch back to my camera again because it's easier to do it on a desk than it is me holding things up. So what can I use with Makey Makey? And the answer is pretty much anything and everything. It just depends on what is conductive or a conductor and what is an insulator. So things like aluminum foil, conductor, it's conductive. Things like the alligator clips that come with Makey Makey are both conductive and insulators. So the wire on the inside is a conductor, but the outside, the plastic outside is an insulator. Wiffle ball, insulator. But if I take this and I wrap it in aluminum foil, it's now conductive. And I like how I'm just throwing this all on the floor. Great things to have. Also, clothespins are wonderful things to have on hand. But a mango is conductive. Same thing with an apple. And we'll use these later. Some other conductive materials. Play-Doh. Play-Doh is conductive. Graphite pencil. So this is essentially a 6B pencil. And so the graphite in here in this pencil is conductive as well.
Oh, for some reason they can't see your camera. If you can't see Derek's camera, try refreshing your screen. Yeah. And also, because I forgot to say it, if you wanted to hear the audio live in another language, you could click Kudo. Yep. Oh, Derek, I can see it, so I don't know why they can't see it. Our tech person's here if they can help us understand. If not, I can also kind of show what you're showing.
Cardboard tubes and paper are insulators and great substrates for things, right? I can build structures out of this. I can use it for a number of other things. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, here, and then another thing that's kind of structural, but also conductive, these paper brass fasteners. I know that, Colleen, you use these in a lot of different projects. They make great touch points, but it's also an easy way to connect paper and cardboard together in different ways. One of my favorite things to get at the hardware store.
Oh, yeah.
Is this aluminum ducting tape. So not duct tape, but it's ducting tape. And it is truly, it's metal tape that I can build big conductive surfaces with. And then last but not least, I know I'm going through a lot, Colleen, but we also have in some of our kits conductive fabric tape. Many of you might have used copper tape before to build circuits and paper circuits. This is similar, but the adhesive is also conductive. And this is not sharp as razor blades like the copper tape can be. So this is a little bit safer with smaller hands, smaller kiddos. And it's flexible. And like I said, it's easier to combine multiple pieces together. But those are just some materials we can use with Makey Makey.
All right, so let's get building some one-button games. And just because you talked about it, I am gonna show real quick the Is It Conductive? Just some building things, because we started doing Is It Conductive with Scratch, but I have them here for the same thing. And it's the same, it's still going to be the same concept for the one-button game, so that's why I want to go ahead and look at it. To make a one-button game, all you need are an earth and a positive input. And so we do that with Is It Conductive? Oh, you can't see that. I did that thing where you can't see it. All right, so you should be able to see just 2 different pieces of tape. And if we wanted to, Derek, can you put a link to our conductive tape?
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Okay, because somebody's asking. And then I have all my Scratch games open to show. I've got a little game open for us to play when we make our slap switch. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up instead of the other. So this is a Scratch project where all I need to do is press the up arrow. And so on my Makey Makey, you can see I already have an alligator clip, but I'm going to unplug them real quick just to show. So if I'm holding Earth and I have to be clicked on my screen. So I'm on Earth, and if I press
Someone is bananas about you.
Can you hear it? Did you hear me talk, but not me?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So right now,
Your head is in the clouds. Make sure you're well grounded.
My one-button game, I'm just using the pick random 1 to 4, and I have just when I press the up arrow to make a sound. And so I'm going to go ahead and plug the gray alligator clip for ground end and the orange alligator clip for up. And so now I've got this hand that, this is my goblin hand, right? When I press my hand, I'll actually complete the circuit.
You have an someone is bananas. Make sure you're well grounded.
I said too many things at once.
Someone is bananas about you.
And I also, because, so all I need to do to make my complete circuit is have earth and 1 positive input. And so I just built this little handy controller for that. So, Derek, did you make a game for me to play?
I did. So just so everybody knows, Colleen and I made games for one another, knowing that Colleen would have a 1-button controller and I'll have multiple buttons. But Colleen has no idea what this game is. So I'm actually going to drop this game, the Scratch game, in the chat here so that she can snag it and play it with her 1-button controller.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and share mine. And I did make an extra hard version of that project that I do kind of want to share that off.
Okay, here's mine, Colleen. I'm not gonna open yours until we get to me building.
Oh, that was just my version of this.
Okay. There you go.
And now let's see. So do we all see the 1 key balloon? Yes, you can see it. Great. Okay, so I have to press spacebar. So now I'm going to have to move my alligator clip because the computer is only as smart as its programmer. And I'm moving over to the spacebar, and I have to try and inflate the balloon until it stops. So I'm just going to do it like this. Oh my gosh. How long have I do this? You're so
there you go.
I should have really pranked you on my game now, I feel. That was fun. So let's look inside at the code. So not too complicated. We're switching the balloon size and it's growing. And how did you decide when it was going to break? Oh, when it gets to the size of 200.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that.
So I tried, just like it's a 1 key, I wanted to make the game as simple as possible too. And there is still some room for improvement, as you can tell when Colleen kept pressing the button, even the popped balloon started getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I just wanted to show the code. I like that. It's a fun game. And I actually really like the concept of 1-button games because you can get really complicated. So just to show, I lost my own game now that I had earlier. Oh, no. We'll just do it this way. All right. So I did make a more complicated version when I pressed space just to kind of show that I could have a little bit more fun if I wanted to. Oh, I did right arrow. So let me change that again to the right arrow. And all I really did here was sort of make it more like a storytelling and using the if-else statements so that I could actually cycle through and make the background match my fortune that's being told.
Someone is bananas about you.
So when I press that one, it shows me bananas.
You have an electric personality.
And the key goes up to 1. It shows the electric background.
Your head is in the clouds. Make sure you're well grounded. A new connection will take you places.
All right, so that's just how I kind of overcomplicated my 1-button game, was just making the backgrounds match. So I could really see this be a really fun storytelling type of project. If we were looking at other ways that we wanted to use a 1-button game and challenge our kids. Whoa, trying to get to the other 1 buttons. So just to show, we built a slap switch, and this slap switch is really fun. And I'll put this link down there in the guide for you, in the chat for you all. And I love these slap switches because they're really easy to make. There's 1,000 different ways you can make a slap switch. And I think that the balloon, now I want to make it with a balloon controller. That's what I think is really fun about Makey Makey and Scratch. It makes me want to make a balloon controller.
Colleen, do you have that link for the more complicated storytelling one?
Yeah, it's the same link. I just put them all in the same one.
Gotcha. All right.
So here's how to build that, and then I'll put my link again though. So, and we can share a better thing. Oh yes, I could make it. We could make it less complicated. All right, that was fun, Derek. You really tricked me with the. Here's another great 1-button controller. Someone said one of their students built one of these, or they took the cardboard and the foil. These are great, and in fact, if you add rubber bands, the more rubber bands you add, the more pressure you have to add. So you could have to jump onto it to make it work. And we've seen a lot of people have a lot of fun with the stomp switch. Now we get to do 2-button games.
Yeah.
And Derek's going to make a fruit controller.
Fruit controller.
Oh.
I'm
Okay.
actually going to call it a produce controller because I'm going to use a zucchini or squash and a mango.
Okay.
We're gonna do this. So I'm gonna switch my camera real quick. Isn't that the most weirdest thing? It's like fruit and stuff. So I'm gonna plug in my Makey Makey, get this thing up and running, and I have zucchini that's gonna be my left, and I'm gonna move this out. And I'm gonna make the mango right. Are those the 2 keys I'm gonna need, Colleen? Left and right?
Yep, left and right.
Okay, so I'm going to alligator clip to left. I am going to jam this thing in here. And right. I'm happy that I'm eating these for lunch today and not just throwing them away. Jam that in the mango. And we need to be able to earth these things or ground them to complete the circuit. So I am actually going to, just for the sake of simplicity, use a dark green. And I'm going to connect it to earth. And I'm going to test. I'm going to hold on to the alligator clip end of this. You can make, and a lot of times students will make wristbands or other ways to connect and ground themselves or earth themselves. But just for the sake of demo here, I'm going to just hold on to it. And as you can see, you might be able to see it here. The left arrow works with my zucchini. And let's see if the right arrow works with my mango. And it does. Some fruits like oranges and that have a pithy skin to them sometimes will not be as conductive. So you just have to kind of test them out sometimes. So Colleen, I'm ready for my game. Uh-oh, you're muted, Colleen.
Okay, here's your Scratch game. It's not anywhere near as mean as your game.
I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, Dana says she's had students who put a foil ring on to connect. I've connected to my ring. Are you wearing the Velcro thing?
I can.
We have a Velcro bracelet that comes in our crafting code kit too
Yes.
that we like to use.
So there's this. This is in our it's actually in our Get Up and Go kit. And I can use this, but I did connect it to my wedding ring, and that works.
Do that so we can see it.
So it looks like 2-button game for Makey Makey. Create tilt sensing or 2-way for Makey Makey and connect left and right to the balance board. So we've done this with a different sensor before, or a different controller. Catch as many tacos as you can, but keep the sky from falling on Chicken Little. Oh, this is going to be fun.
So no clouds. Don't let the cloud hit you.
Okay. So I got to avoid clouds, and I need both hands.
You got to eat tacos.
Okay. Okay, so zucchini is left. Oh, super taco.
Super taco.
Avoid the cloud. Look at this.
Oh, that's a little cloud.
Oh!
Did it get you? How the clouds get so small? Oh, it almost got you. I think you have to get hit by a cloud once. What's the penalty?
The sky is falling.
Oh, that's so cute. Is that one of your daughters?
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's probably Valley.
The sky is falling.
Does this just go on forever?
Yeah, there's no stop. I haven't ended it. I actually did make a second round where it could go to like a different background, but yeah, you're just gonna have to quit.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop, even though it's addicting.
It is kind of fun. I'm glad you like it. Oh, should we show the code?
Oh, let me pull it up.
I can pull it up. I got it right here.
Yeah, how about you do that, because I just closed sharing and all that.
So a little bit more complicated. We have it starting and broadcasting the game, and then setting the score to 0. There was supposed to be if you made it to 15, you won, but I don't know what you won. May not have done anything. I may have turned it off. So when the game starts, all we're really doing is making left and right move, left and right. And I did have if the cloud hit Chicken Little for him to like kind of fall down. Otherwise, he was staying. So that's really pretty easy, that part. Oh, that must be the left, the level 2 over there with Taco 2. And the tacos for cloning is always my favorite. There's always a kid who asks about tacos and how they're going to clone their tacos. So basically, if it touches the chick, then it changes the score, and it's moving around on the y-axis so that it's always starting and coming in a different place. And then where's the other taco? Where's the clone taco? Now I'm not even seeing my clone taco. Oh, I think I just had it go back and forth. I think I just have them always going back to the top. So I didn't actually clone tacos. I just have the same tacos falling and falling and falling. So there was supposed to be a win. Oh, when it goes to the next backdrop. It's because I took the backdrop off. Anyway.
The idea of cloning tacos makes me really hungry right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm always talking about tacos. I think it might be an obsession. So now we're going to talk about 4-button games, and some of our 4-button games do not require a human to be the Earth connection. I think that's kind of the other big thing that happens. Derek, I don't know if you saw in chat, but David said he had a kid with a wheat allergy and he couldn't use Play-Doh.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm like, is there an alternative to Play-Doh? I don't know if anyone can think of an alternative to Play-Doh.
It does contain wheat. I was like, does the
because you make it
stuff different than the homemade stuff, but it does contain wheat.
Yeah. So our 4-button games, we love making Play-Doh switches. In fact, I think I keep forgetting to share the links of the actual projects, but I'll put those in here in a second. This is one I made last year for the Scratch conference too. Was an orange. I called it Orange a Sketch. I made this project for Make a Sketch, and the orange is Earth, and my hand is holding the orange, and it's rolling around to the different buttons. But Derek, I'm going to let you show how to make one real quick. How to make a 4-button controller.
Yeah. I'll switch my camera again. I was busy removing the produce from my desk. So I removed the produce from these wires, and the great thing about this, the progression that Colleen and I are presenting in terms of a 1-button controller, then a 2, and then we can just keep adding keys. And so there's this something kind of elegant about just adding to something rather than having to tear it apart and rebuild it over and over again. So I am adding 2 more alligator clips, one now to up and one to down. So now I have my originals left and right, and then a yellow for up and white for down. And I still have my earth, which I'm going to still connect to my ring so that I can be grounded. And I grabbed some Play-Doh. I'm still racking my brain for allergy, like wheat free.
Oh, they already answered it in the chat.
There we go.
It's already been answered.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. They said it actually just used other types of flour. So someone made homemade with rice flour.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And another person said you could use glue and cornstarch might work. And then I thought there was a third one. I'm having trouble. Oh, Michael actually shared a link. So
there's my left. I'm not being very creative, but there's a left arrow that's going to be green, and you can jam these things into the Play-Doh. I like to keep Play-Doh from getting in the clips too much. I like just putting them under and then giving them a good press down.
Mm-hmm. They're
still touchable. And then I need to make an up one, and I will make, instead of an arrow, you know what, we'll just do a circle. And I just drop Play-Doh on the carpet, so hopefully I don't. So again, I'm
step on it.
Pulling the sheathing back, and I am going to just stick that there. And we'll do orange is right.
While you're building, you should use some paper clips, because Dawn said her projects rested with Play-Doh. And so one of our hacks is to actually just jam a paper clip into the Play-Doh.
I'll tell you what, I had some in here. Here we go.
We also, if you want to brainstorm this one while you're building, Sarah has multiple students with multiple classes in middle school, and she asked for tips on keeping students' projects organized for each class. My initial gut and what I did as a librarian was only work with one class at a time. Well, yeah, but I mean, like when they're working on a project.
Oh, yeah.
I only worked with one class at a time. So that would be a lot of, like I would do marble mazes with 5th grade, and I would work with one class for a week, and then I would work with a different class for the next week, so that I only had to organize by one. And I had this massive shelf, like a maker shelf, set up for that.
Okay, so there's my 4 inputs, and I know my wires are somewhat messy, but I tried to color code them as much as possible. So we have left, up, right, down, and I can, again, connect my ring here. Colleen, do we have a 4-play or a 4-direction game?
The soccer? Oh, I was just thinking about showing the soccer app, because we were just going to show a ton of controllers. And I think it is the water in the Play-Doh that makes it conductive. I agree. And the weird thing about water is it isn't actually even the water that's conductive. It's the...
There's salt also.
Yeah, but it's also all the things in the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not the water itself. Like, if you use pure distilled water, it won't be conductive. It's all of the salts and other impurities in the water that...
In fact, when they build circuit boards like Makey Makey, the last thing they do is wash them in a very expensive, it looks like a dishwasher, and it uses distilled water. So here, I pulled up our soccer app. It's not developed in Scratch, but for demonstration purposes,
kind of
now I can move Carl around here and take the soccer ball.
I thought the Sarah she's pretty interested in the storage tips. I thought the laundry basket idea was interesting too. Jesse stores his in laundry baskets. I store them in shelves.
Like little laundry baskets?
I don't know.
I was asking the group.
I know. I'm like, I don't know.
And then I'll add the link to the soccer game.
Okay. And then we're just going to show a bunch of other crazy 4-person games. And then I was going to share, you must have a really large room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse, I kind of almost do want to see your room. Let me do this storage one. It's the ions. Is that the word I was looking for? And the science people are giving me the real words. Sorry.
Really?
All right. So again, in this one in the orange is the earth, and then we're moving across. And this is a scrappy joystick. My scrappy joystick actually came apart, but just to show it real fast. Oop. Oop. So me. This is why I use wireless headphones, Derek. See, that's why I'm not happy about wearing.
You gotta get up and go.
But the paper clips, each one you would connect to a different arrow key. So you have up, down, left, right. And then your earth is actually connected in the center. And mine's stripped down right now. I made the larger foil to make it work better, but it works just like a real joystick. So that when this earth connects to up, it actually controls. So super fun. And
Colleen, 1 second. While we're talking joysticks, I'm going to pull this down for a second.
You got one?
And at Makey Makey, we love building stuff out of different craft materials and random stuff. But one thing that I do want to bring up is that Makey Makey can still be used with off-the-shelf electronics components. So as you can see, right, there's arcade buttons, mashy arcade buttons, and an arcade joystick. Well, you can find it at a lot of different electronics websites out there that can still be plugged into Makey Makey, because these are just switches on the back side. I know they're hard to see, but they're there. So as long as it's a button or a switch, you can build. You can go either direction. We can go scrappy and crafty, or we can go and build with the real stuff too. So either way works with Makey Makey.
Awesome. Let me show a couple other ones, and I have some I can show live too. But I was going to share this guy. One of my other favorite scrappy inventions is a glove controller. And this is I'll go ahead and get this link before I make it larger. But one thing I really love about the glove controller is it really breaks your brain trying to play the glove controller. So, Dawn, we'll share all the links. In fact, I'll share the link to this slideshow because it will just have all the links in it. They're under each slide. But I wanted to have, I like sharing them this way too. But so the glove, we've cut off the thumb. And then when you touch your fingertips, you're actually controlling up, down, left, right. But this gives kids also an idea of accessibility. So if someone doesn't really, it kind of gives them the empathy of thinking, oh, like if someone can't do something with, a normal movement, and they might be able to do this. And it's just kind of an interesting way to start thinking about creating those types of projects. The doorstop controller is super fun. Our COO of the company actually invented this one, and that is just a doorstop from the hardware store. And it is earth, and then there's just the conductive fabric tape Derek mentioned earlier that's controlling it. And we're hitting each arrow key. This is a weird one that I made, and I can actually share this laser pointer game. So I do have a four arrow game. This was it. I just forgot to share it, Derek.
No.
I'll get that one pulled up, my laser pointer game. And so in this game, it's a cat that is chasing a laser pointer. And so I thought it would be fun to try to build a like laser type game. So I also wanted to use the stuff to stuff connection instead of the, actually, I bet I have this link if I did it this way. Oh, I didn't. I'm so bad. All right, I'm having trouble finding my laser pointer game. So let me find it. But you, Derek, show me another joystick.
Uh-oh.
What do you got?
I don't have another one.
Okay.
We had Do you have a photo of the nut and bolt one?
Yeah, I have a real one. I'm gonna grab it, but I got my headphones.
Colleen's grabbing this, but we built a one out of some nuts and bolts that you find at Home Depot or any other hardware store, probably even in your junk drawer, that uses it. The problem is, as many of you probably know, ISTE was a couple weeks ago. On its trip back from ISTE, it got destroyed. So we haven't been able to build a new one yet in terms of a demo. So Colleen, I think, is getting that now. But there's plenty of other controllers to use. We've done Play-Doh. There's also our craft and code kit. So it looks like this. Comes with a bunch of other materials, including this steel ball bearing. And so being able to put a steel ball bearing in a cardboard tube, and you can go back and forth with this and put tinfoil on either end. So when the ball bearing touches one end, you go left or right. And there's Colleen with the nut and bolt controller. You gotta you're muted, Colleen. Muted. Uh-oh, Colleen left. Anyways, there's plenty of other controllers to use. I'm going to jump to kind of the next thing while Colleen's trying to get back on. And that is, we've done 4-button. There's also the possibility to do 8-button controllers. And many of you could probably go, but there's only 6 inputs on the front of the Makey Makey. Well, on the back, we have a number of other keys that we can leverage. Oh, Colleen's back on, and so I'll let her talk about her joystick before I move on to 8-button controllers.
It's just because I unplugged my headset, so it thought I was like muted, and then I plugged my headset back in. It didn't. It wouldn't. You can't do stuff like that. So right, 4 connections instead of 2, and I actually have no idea which one's which because I'll have to look inside. So I'll give you guys a peek inside, and you can see it got a little smashed.
You don't need to hook it up.
Oh, good. Earth isn't connected anyway, so it's a good thing I came in here like this. All right. So red will be... Oh, I got stuck. That was weird. Red is going to be down. That means white will be up. And do I have to do them backwards? Is green going to be right? Green's going to be right. Oh, no, I hit the camera.
Watch the camera.
I know. Hopefully it'll come back. There it goes. It came back. Well, it came back for me. It's not coming back for you.
Nope.
Weird.
Oh, wait. There's you.
All right. It looks like I'm stuck, but we'll try it. Okay. That's the reason that the being busted is kind of bad, because I think Earth's going to keep being connected. I'll try this. All right. We're going to share this.
So, Colleen, can you flip it and just show it in profile? Because the whole key to this is when this is in profile, the joystick, the middle of the joystick or the stick itself is Earth. And then each of those washers are up, down, left, right. And so when you tilt it and it touches, the middle washer touches that, it completes that circuit between Earth and...
I was going to try to do the cat game so you could see it moving the cat.
Oh, there you go. Oh.
A little bit glitchy. Catch it.
Oh.
Ooh. So it's just like a real cat laser game. You know, I think we created Flappy Bird style games because you can't stop playing because you just the laser doesn't get caught. You know, you can't catch the laser. All right, I'm gonna stop playing.
Got to turn the laser off.
I do have to turn the laser off. I just added the pin like last minute because I wanted to see where the laser was going. So we could also take that off. We don't have to have that on there. But it's, again, just really simple, having the cat move right and left and up and down. And I actually like teaching the kids all the different ways you can make a character move, like using if statements or just using when a key presses. So they all work with Makey Makey because all the computer thinks is we're pressing right arrow and left arrow.
Yep.
And then there's the caught it coding. Pretty simple. And then the laser is just using some simple math to move randomly around the screen, kind of like Pong. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Colleen, question for you.
Okay.
How do we make controllers that are more than 6? Because I only have 6 keys on the front.
Okay, you want to do more buttons.
You always got to do more.
So, good thing is we just made this new backpack bundle. Ta-da!
And you're wondering what a backpack is.
All right,
not a backpack for school, right?
Not a backpack for school, but you know how Arduino has shields and Raspberry Pi has hats. So our expansion board is a backpack. It just plugs directly on the back of your Makey Makey. And this is your, you plug it in. Sorry, I got a message. It's hard to like read a message and see them. You plug it in and now you have more connections. So just to show with, you know what? Now we need to pull up a 2-player game. Well, we could pull up
soccer would be good.
I'll pull up soccer. Yeah.
While you're doing that, I can talk about the backpacks.
Yeah, talk about the backpacks.
But we have a bundle of them currently, which is 3 of them. So there's player 2, which is WASD, and then F and G keys, which tend to be the second player if you have a 2-player game type thing on a computer. So WASD, F, G. That's one side of your Makey Makey. Here.
I'm going to play with both.
And then we have Makey Mouse, which is all of the mouse controls broken out to a single board. Mouse movement up, down, left, right, and left and right click. And then we have Makey Max, which is all of the back pins broken out to alligator clippable connections.
So obviously this is not the way to play soccer by flipping back and forth, although this is kind of a really interesting way to play. Sort of like the glove controller where I'm like, what am I doing? But you can see that now we've got 8 by using player 2. But if I grab one of my other beautiful backpacks, actually, look, Derek.
There's Max.
I've got Makey Max and Makey Mouse, and we'll see if we can plug them in. Oh, I guess I could share the fruit catcher game. You know what? I have a fruit catcher totally live I could find. It's a really insane controller for everybody to see. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to these. So, like Derek said, the 2-player backpack.
The question was, can you play 2-player games using the original Makey Makey? And the answer is yes. Our Makey Makey comes with little wires that can plug into the back of these headers.
Right here.
One of the things, the reason we made these backpacks is that using those wires and making attachments to these headers were pretty difficult for younger students, younger kids. And so we wanted to make it everything alligator clippable and good to go there. So that's the origin of these backpacks.
Oh, that's so funny. I thought I was sharing my other camera and I was showing my own face when I was doing that. Yeah. So yes, you can use the player 2. Oh no, I'm connected still. I better get off of that. You can use the player 2 by just plugging into WASD, or you can take a backpack and plug it directly together. And now you've got WASD just broken out on the backpack board. We love the 2-player games, and then you can do 2 players with Play-Doh. You can do 2 players with all kinds of things. And then one of my favorite is the Makey Max fruit catcher game. So that is an egg carton with 18 brass fasteners. And then I would be Earth. Oh, I did that first one so well. I'm not going to. There we go. There's Makey Max. And then this has WASDFG, but I actually remapped the mouse controls to be numbers 1 through 6. And I don't know, Derek, if you want to talk about remapping while I grab my fruit controller.
Yeah. So on our website, we have an app that allows you and enables you to remap any of the keys on the Makey Makey. So if I wanted to have the front of the board be, instead of the arrow keys, if I wanted this to be return, delete, and the M key for some random reason, I could do that remapping. And that works for both all of the front connections as well as the back, the keys and stuff on the back. So if there's a key on here that, let's say a student builds a game in Scratch and they're like, they want to use the V and B key, they can actually remap the Makey Makey to use V and B instead of left and right or any of the other ones. And April, thank you so much for adding the remap link there as well. The tool also enables, just for everybody as you're dealing with students, sometimes students will remap Makey Makeys and then put them back. And so if you get Makey Makeys, if students have been remapping and you get the next class and they're like, it doesn't work, you can go to the remap page and it can factory reset your Makey Makey as well. So that's one of the things before saying, hey, Makey Makey, it's not working or we're having issues with it. Make sure that you try to remap it back to its original settings.
And then just to show this really insanity, because you probably have had kids who make projects like this is a nest of wires. And I'm not actually going to play it because I realize I'm not going to make sure. I actually have it plugged into the prototype here. And, but I don't know if I'll get the connections right for the front, so I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't have that much time left. But I do love how easy it is, like Dana said, to just plug and play versus using all those tiny white wires. I'm sure there's still going to be some kids who like using that, but this fruit catcher game is really fun. So I'll just share a link on the slides, but also here. And we actually did use Scratch as our inspiration for our apps. So, and one thing that Derek and I have been doing and working with teachers and students is using the apps kind of as a springboard to become what you make in Scratch. So you could look at the fruit catcher game and then think about how can I make it. And basically fruit catcher is a whack-a-mole style game. So we really like seeing that progression. And we've got some other videos on here for inspiration for having kids make their own game controllers. And one thing I want to show you before we just totally open it up to questions, because we're doing actually pretty good on time.
Yeah.
But on our how-to page, I've during COVID, I redid a lot of our how-to page to be basically with Scratch. And then we've seen that a lot of people are using Makey Makey with even younger students. And so we have the first 8 guides now. These are actually what you guys have been looking at all day today, pretty much. Is using our plug and play apps to learn how to use Makey Makey. We have some other really fun creative ones, but this last one here, the game controller one, is a lot of the ones we're sharing right now. And you can use all of this with your students, tomorrow if you want. And then scrolling down, there's those Scratch ones. But we also, all those backpack projects, which are where all the really cool hardware ones. There's that doorstop controller. So I don't know why I'm sharing all the links. All the links are right here.
Colleen, are we sharing the slide deck with people?
Yeah, I'm going to share it in just a second. I was waiting until I was done to share it. That's okay. And then all those apps, again, are right here on plug and play apps. And then last year, Eric and I did a session, and we did having them code to make a sketch, which was a really fun app. This year, what I've been doing with kids is I've noticed that alligator clips are hard. I don't know if this is a thing, if anyone wants to chime in, but I've noticed that at least maybe it's the younger kids, but alligator clips seem to be hard. So I've started using 1-button apps and so where they only have 2 alligator clips. So I started using the alarm, and actually even with teachers, like that's out of the gate. So we do what is conductive, and then we make our alarm inventions, and alarm in Scratch is like crazy fun and easy to make. So there are, let me share the slides. And if there's any, yeah, Walter's like, yep. In fact, This is a great alligator clip hack, Walter. And I usually have my one with conductive tape sitting here, and it's not sitting here, but you can wrap a clothespin in conductive tape and just take the alligator clip. Now I don't have one not connected to a project. Here it is. Oh, it's because it's connected to the hand. And you can just clip this right onto the alligator clip, and now you have a much easier alligator clip for a kindergartner. They can put this on a banana, or they can touch it to other things, and it's just a really easy clothespin hack. All right.
Any? We open it up to question. And people have been asking questions as we go. But
they have. But also, if we could, if anyone wants to share other game controller ideas, I would love to hear those too. And we could maybe let people do it with audio. I don't know. I was going to have people add their own ideas for game controllers on our slideshow, but with the way that the Padlets went, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm not going to do that now. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Mike. In fact, I have one. Actually, our slide's not on there. They're not on there. Weird. I wanted a shorter link, but I'm not getting one.
Yeah, I know that it's not Scratch, but there's conversation about other platforms and things like that for making games. So there's MakeCode Arcade, which we also have a plugin for as well. But then there's trying to think. Other game applications.
Yeah, and if someone wants to get on camera, I know Iris and Nina are still on here. I don't know if they want to be on there. We could show the poster app since we got 5 minutes. This was the last thing I forgot to share.
Oh, Colleen, we didn't talk about that. There is a actual Makey Makey extension in Scratch.
There is a Makey Makey extension in Scratch. We should probably talk.
You want to pull that up and so that people can see how to access it?
I will. I did just want to say, because I think the stop motion video I shared is on this makeymakey.com/slides23. I made these to use like with students. So I don't want it to be big, but anyway, there's all those plug-in with bongos. Doing a piano app, what is conductive, and basically all the stuff. So, yep, that video is on there. So this is like everything we've been doing today. You have access to that as well. All right, you want me to share? I'm sorry, say it again.
Show people how to access the Makey Makey extension in Scratch.
Right, Scratch. Let me go back to my cootie catcher. So like this one. And I love the Makey Makey extension because it allows you to, so like it works without it, but if you use it, then kids can't use the wrong keys. That's what I noticed about my own child. So if I click on extensions and I go to Makey Makey, I get these options. And now it's only the keys that I have available on the Makey Makey natively without remapping. And Eric also made this super cool sequence order one that you can use that's kind of like the Konami code of things. Oh, was I not sharing my screen?
Nope.
Well, you're supposed to say something out loud. I can't read the chat while I'm sharing my screen.
I was reading chat and responding to chat things.
Okay, I'll do that again. So when I'm in the project and I click on extensions, now I can see it. There's the Makey Makey extension. And so it lets me have just the keys that are natively available on Makey Makey. And then Eric has made this really fun sequence 1, 2, where if you press left, up, and right in the right order, something will happen. Whatever you put down here under this hat. So
it's like in old school video games where you have like special
moves. Up, down, left, right, A, B, A, B. Or is it A, B, B?
Oh.
Do you remember?
It's different for every game. I feel like it has something.
Yeah, it's cheat code. I did make some crazy projects like that. I think The one I have is secret codes. There's one crazy Scratch project like that, but there's another one. I also did one with the life cycle that I thought was really fun. Let's see if I can find a life cycle for y'all. Now we have 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to know from the Makey Makey experts, or do you want to, if you actually wanted to go, no, we're just saying thank you. Let me see if I can find my crazy, which one is it? The life cycle?
Yeah.
Because the life cycle is really fun. It's a butterfly project, and if you put them in the wrong order, it doesn't work. I also once tried to make a pizza making Scratch project, so that you had to make your pizza in the right order.
Huh.
And then if you didn't make your pizza in the right order, Scratch would tell you, like, that was no good. It's another fun way of using it.
Seems like a Scratch version of, what is it, Talkie Kitchen or whatever? Like,
yeah. Toca Boca?
Something like that.
Right. So let's see. Of course, I don't know. I have to look at the code. All right. So if I press up.
Female butterfly lays eggs.
Ooh.
Fully grown caterpillar forms. Into a pupa or chrysalis. A butterfly emerges.
Yay! And so then I did the sequence and the butterfly grew. But if I'd done it out of sequence, then I don't get a butterfly. So let's see.
Into a pupa or chrysalis. A butterfly emerges. Female butterfly lays eggs. A fully grown caterpillar forms.
I'm just pressing all the things. Nothing really happens. I have to put them in the right sequence. Oh.
A fully grown caterpillar forms. Into a pupa or chrysalis. A butterfly emerges.
Ta-da! Now I kind of want to find my pizza and my... I also had a peanut butter and jelly one. Oh, April did do the sit and reach one. I saw that project while I was sitting here. Did you see it, April, in my thing? Someone else was talking about STEM, or maybe you were talking about STEM in the gym. And that is a great way. We've just really devolved from game controllers at this point. You let me do it. Derek, you're supposed to keep me from doing this.
Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once.
I'm just kidding. So, April, look, here's the sit and reach game that I made similar to the one you guys made. And it was just basically measuring how many kids can reach by 1 inch or 2 inches or 3 inches. And I'll plug in my Makey Makey. We got 2 minutes. This is a fun game. I love STEM in the Gym. If you go to our website and type STEM in the Gym, you'll actually get tons and tons and tons of ideas for how to do it. So let's see. I reached 2 inches doing that. But you basically have this plugged up to a real sit and reach board to see how many kids can do. You could actually take all of that afterwards and make it a science project and see what's the average length that kids can actually sit and reach in our classroom. Yes, if you come to a session with Colleen, you get 18,000 ideas, and hopefully you act on one of them. If you act on one of them today, I think it should be the one-button games because they're the best to start with. Right, Derek?
Yes, one-button games.
Oh.
Only if we can come up with a no-button game.
And if you didn't see, this is actually, this is your last present of the day. Running arrows sounds fun. Your last present of the day is this Makey Makey prompt Scratch project. So this, if you press space, will prompt different ideas of controllers to make with Makey Makey. And thanks, everybody. What kind of controller would you make with, how might you make a Makey Makey controller that is wobbly?
Ooh.
Ooh, or this is what I should have done with my one button, huh? All right, thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for the session.